issue.
Okay, I guess we had to unplug the damn unit to reset it, I guess. Would you be able to like do a real quick recording of an interview and use it as a spot that we could use at halftime?
I'm not for sure, honestly. I've been looking for Adobe, and I think TJ took it off the computer.
Can you make a spot? Go to make it a spot at this. Or you not? Do you know how to use how to make a spot like a regular commercial spot?
Give me 2 seconds, Ty.
What did you say? Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try this and see if it works. Just give me a 3, 2, 1, and then start your interview.
Just go just right straight.
Say 3,
Okay.
2, 1, and then start your interview.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Talking to Coach Carpenter up here at halftime, and Coach, your Lady Eagles get that record 8-1, a thrashing win over Piedra Vista, 91-34, 57-point victory. And boy, 11 or so players scored in that game, 10 3-pointers, numerous turnovers, 27 for Piedra Vista, and only 5 turnovers as the team offensively. I mean, unbelievable numbers in that one.
Yeah, we took care of the ball, and then we hit shots tonight. And so we got scoring from Madison, Cepeda with 16, and Caitlin Muniz was 16. I think Brett Clay was 16 or something like that. It was they led the way, but there was a ton of kids scoring.
And in terms of this game, I know last year you guys broke a record for most biggest win going back to 2004 or something like this. This wasn't up to that number yet, but still, I mean, you guys just had it in control. You up by 15 at the end of the first quarter, but the lead just continued to move on, 52-19 at halftime.
Yeah, everyone got a piece and got after it. And, you know, our defense was pretty stellar tonight. Like you said, 27 turnovers. And if we can turn teams over close to 30 times a game, we're going to be tough to beat.
Now, that other team that you played, Piedra Vista, did manage 6 3-pointers. It was too far into the game before it even mattered at this point, but your girls continue to stroke it from the outside.
Yeah, we hit 10 threes, so, you know, there was different people hitting shots, which is a good sign. Coach always likes that. You don't want it to just be 1 or 2 people. And so we did do that. We didn't get out on their shooters a lot in that second half late, but I think we can pick it up and get that figured out.
Another thing, we saw a lot of girls crashing the glass tonight, a bunch of people. Brett Clay with 7 rebounds. She didn't have a ton of points early, but she was continuing to be as physical as possible as usual, crashing the boards. Eliana Armitage, of course, 5 boards. Cunningham with 5. The thing I like about Armitage is she had a point where she was going in off a steal on a layup and got hammered and was kind of limping a little bit, but then she's going down to the other end to make a steal on a long full-court pass, and then, I mean, just continues to move up and down the court.
She's tough as nails. The thing I noticed is I've had a lot of people tell me, hey, Aliana is my favorite player to watch because she plays offense and defense, and she goes at it hard, and she really is the spark for our team. If we're going to win this whole thing, this whole state championship, she's going to be a big, big part of that.
Yeah, and again, a lot of spark plugs out there, too. I mean, your trap that was going on, it was a 2-2-1 at one point. I mean, a complete full-court trap. Having trouble getting it across the timeline, quite a bit of that first half for Piedra Vista and for the rest of the game as well.
Yeah, we were anticipating. We were trying to keep pressure on ball, get them to lob passes, and then we were trying to become good interceptors and steal it and then go get quick shots.
Coach, talking about your second round tomorrow, of course. You'll play at about the same time, 6 o'clock or so. In terms of your competition, you do have Farmington in this tournament. A couple years ago, they won the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, but you've been here. This is the 7th year in terms of the tournament itself. You guys have won more than a majority of them, but dominating opponents. And you had the school record last year with the point differential. But how do you feel about the competition that's left on the winners bracket?
Yeah, I mean, we got Albuquerque, El Dorado tomorrow. Should be a challenge. Anytime we play an Albuquerque school, they always seem to play their best game against us. And so if we're fortunate enough to get through that, you got a really good long El Paso Riverside team over there. And then obviously Farmington, who is about as skilled and polished as anyone in the state. They're well coached, and they're going to be a tough beat.
Well, in terms of Riverside, I think they're the only team in the girls bracket that has a double-digit win so far this season. And having seen Farmington earlier, they have a great starting unit, but it seems like the bench is a little bit young and weaker compared to what they have on the court at the beginning of the game.
Don't let that fool you, Ty. They're very aggressive, and they're going to be a tough team. Their only loss is to Kirtland Central, and so it should be pretty good. There's no cakewalks after these Final Four teams are pretty good.
Any further comments about the tournament, Coach, as we're here at halftime? The boys' game, a big win for you guys, 91-34 earlier.
Nah, my main thing is I just want everyone out there to support, KZOR, everybody, cool, 95.7, everything that we have here, because without you guys, we wouldn't be able to put this tournament on. There's a lot of teams from out of town watching these games. And you guys do a great job, Ty. You've always done a great job, and so we're just much appreciated of all this.
Thanks, Coach. More fun when they have winning teams to broadcast for, too.
That's true. That's true. Thank you, Ty, friend.
Coach Carpenter with the Hobbs 8 Eagles, 1-0 record here at the Hobbs All-Day Tournament. We'll go back to the station for a 60-second break. Come back with more of the Hobbs Boys halftime show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Thank you. Be able to pull that down? Okay, I appreciate that. I know it's not very much noticed, but he said El Paso.
No, Albuquerque, El Dorado.
Oh, he kept saying El Paso. Maybe he made a mistake. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, Paso Riverside did win, but they're down here. It's Albuquerque, El Dorado.
Okay.
You what?
I couldn't hear you.
Cut our feed.
2:30 to go. Ten, 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome live to Tasker Arena. Times for the Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament, the 65th annual, live on Cool 95.7 on the internet, YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com, and also the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you, and Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Ron, we just wrapped up the girls' game, a 57-point win for the Hobbs Lady Eagles against Piedra Vista, so they're into the winners bracket for that side of the tournament. And now the Hobbs boys taking on Las Cruces High, a tournament the Hobbs Eagles did not win last year, Ron.
No, they did not, unfortunately, and it's one of those situations where you always want to improve on your performance, especially at home. Last year, we already knew the fact that Hobbs was having struggles in the fourth quarter. They would drop a lot of games due to that, simply because of trying too hard, just overemphasizing on that, or just losing the ball. Whatever they did, they were just losing the lead on it in the fourth quarter if they had that lead, and they have definitely learned. 7-1 is what they are now, and they are definitely playing better. I think they learned a lot against San Angelo just a couple of weeks ago, so that's going to help them out. And a low-riding Las Cruces Bulldogs, we're used to seeing them high, but we got a 2-game winning streak against them, and I think that's going to help improve the chances for the Hobbs Eagles to come into this one and get a victory and move on to the next round.
Yeah, Eagles almost getting a mercy rule win against Mayfield right before Christmas, 79-48, so a 31-point victory in that one. 5 guys getting in double figures for Hobbs, and some guys stepping up that aren't on the top of the scoring usually in most games and coming off the bench. Josiah Clay being one of those guys, had 13 points in that game, hit a 3-pointer for the Eagles. Jairus Turbiatis, a double-double for him, 13 points and 11 rebounds. Abraham Pena, 13 points and 4 rebounds. He had a tray himself and was 2 for 2 from the line. Parker Henderson, 11 points and 3 boards. And Lyric Soria, probably his best game of the season in terms of shooting, 11 points and 3 3-pointers in the ball game. Of course, Lyric just a sophomore guard for the Eagles, so lots of years left, but lots of guys getting involved in that game. Had 44 rebounds compared to 21, so doubled up plus against Mayfield on the glass.
And see, this is one of the great things, because the game before, they had a couple of players that stepped up on that game. So you've got different players coming up on each and every game, but it's going to be great and impressive once you see more players start to play a level up and be able to play a lot better and be able to play the basketball that we know they know how to, both offensively and defensively.
And when you keep it down to single-digit turnovers like the Eagles did in that game against Mayfield, just 9 compared to 17, almost double Mayfield had in turnovers, that's a very good sign that the offense is taking care of the basketball.
Well, plus, even if you do have turnovers like they did the other day against Oregon Mountain, you just make sure that you don't get those possessions to become points against you. And once that happens, of course, it was back and forth. They both had about the same amount of turnovers. It seemed like 20, 22 or something like that. And Hobbs was able to utilize what they got and were able to make sure that they were able to score when they needed to.
Well, the Eagles, even though they did defeat Oregon Mountain, who was ranked in the top 5 at the time, now 5th in the Max Preps poll, and also knocked off Mayfield, which probably doesn't help your standings very much. But They dropped to number 2 on the Max Preps poll behind Volcano Vista. Now, Vista was not on the poll the previous week because they didn't have enough games under their belt.
Right.
That's a Max Preps rule, I guess. But now that they're, pretty dominant, 6-0 record, they got enough games, so they're at number 1. They have a little bit harder strength of schedule, 2-14 compared to 12.1 for the Eagles. But the team the Eagles are playing tonight, Las Cruces High, has seen kind of a drop-off the last few years. They're down to number 20 in the Preps poll, and the Eagles also beat them last year by double digits. So, a couple of years ago, they had a couple Division I prospects, and, of course, their coach's son was pretty strong. He plays with the New Mexico Junior College now, but they had a lot of tough players. The last couple of seasons, though, Las Cruces is kind of digging around, trying to find themselves a niche in the system. Last year, they were 13-14 and only had a 5-5 district record, so they did not make the playoffs. They were under 500 overall, but so were the Hobbs Eagles. They were 12-16 and 3-3 in district. They didn't go to the playoffs either, so 2 of the top echelon teams over the years kind of had a falling off last year.
And again, it's simply because they could not finish the game strongly enough. This year, Ronald Ross has proven the fact that they can start a game strong, they can finish a game strong. They have a little trouble sometimes in the middle, but I think they worked this all out. they've gotten to a 7-1 record, and I think that's the reason why, is because they can win games when they're a little bit behind. They can come back and be strong. In any case, they have a good fourth quarter, and that always finishes up a good game.
Last year, Eagles winning against Las Cruces 63-52 here at Task Arena, so an 11-point victory, up by 9 at the half, and outscored Las Cruces 34-32 in the second half. Lots of guys getting point production for the team this year that played last year. Casares with 9 points. Pena had 8 for the Eagles. Turbiatis 8 points and 7 rebounds. And Hernandez finished up with 6, Clay 5, Soria 3, and a couple other guys got in the books as well. Hobbs had 7 3-pointers in that win. But Las Cruces returned some guys that scored in that game last year too. Bisbee had 10 points, Latrell had 6, Navarro's 5. They had 2 Navarroses that had 5 apiece. And they had a lot of free throw opportunities too. They were 14 of 25 on the line in that game for Las Cruces. Hobbs did manage the glass though, 29-13. The problem the Eagles had though, Ron, even though they won that game by 11, they had 32 turnovers, 15 for Las Cruces, and still won the game with double more turnovers. I don't know how that happens, but the Eagles somehow got the 11-point win.
Again, it's one of those situations where it was a back and forth at times too, I'm sure, where it was Hobbs losing the ball, followed by Las Cruces losing it back, and those don't really count. They just up your turnover count, but in the end, it's what you do with the turnovers that matter the most. Hobbs was able to get more production out of it than the Las Cruces Bulldogs was, and that's what really counts in the end, making the most with your opportunities.
Right now, the Bulldogs have a 3-6 record, so they're under 500 by several games. They open up with 2 losses to start the season: El Paso, Mountwood, and a Trisco Heritage, of course, from Albuquerque. They beat Del Norte, which is a good win, by 17, and then they went to the Armijo tournament where they went 1-2. They played at Trisco a second time and lost by 24 to that squad. Beat Clovis in a close one, 53-50, and then lost to La Cueva 38-36 by a 2-point margin. And their last game before the Christmas holiday was Deming, and they blew them out, a smaller school, 72-40. So that was a 32-point victory there. So Las Cruces does have a few wins under their belt, but December 14th against La Cueva, the problem they had on that game was it just a kind of a back-and-forth situation. It did go down to the wire, but lots of turnovers from La Cueva in that game, 16. So Las Cruces were doing something right. The problem is La Cueva also had 13 steals against Las Cruces. So we know the Hobbs Eagles like to press, they like to trap. They might be taking some advantage of those guards there for Las Cruces.
Yeah, they also had a game against Cleveland, which was very close. We watched Cleveland earlier in this game, or this evening, and they looked a little slow too, but they were able to win that game. It was 62-59 against Cleveland in Cleveland, and then they went on to Sandia, at Sandia. That was actually at Sandia, and they lost big time, 82-66. So they weren't able to get any kind of traction as far as offense on that game, or defense for that matter. And so we're looking to see if we can get that same offense-defense struggle that Las Cruces had against Sandia here at the Task Arena for the Hobbs Eagles.
The Del Norte win a couple of weeks ago, they won 60-43. Brisbee was their top scorer. He had 23 points in that game and was perfect on the line, 7 of 7. So Jaden Brisbee is a guy the Eagles are going to have to watch out. They also had Julian Navarro's had 17 against Del Norte, and Dominic Latrell finishing with 12. Now those are 3 names that did play last year against Hobbs in the Eagles' victory. So got to watch out for those guys. They had 4 3-pointers in that game with 18 of 23 from the line in that contest. So that's kind of where we're standing at this point as a team from Las Cruces comes down here playing in the holiday tournament. Of course, the Hobbs Eagles have been the dominant team in most of the tournaments this 65 years. This is the 65th year of the tournament. They've been in 54 of the 64 championship games and have 37 wins in that championship. Of course, the last time they won was in 2021.
Exactly, and they face a very good team. But, yeah, they won it in 2021. They'd like to do it again. It's been 3 years now, so definitely are itching and craving to get that title back again. It's been a while since they had it, but they beat Cleveland last time, and that was a good game, and I'm sure this one is going to be as well for the Hobbs Eagles, and the fans are here packing the stands, ready for this game to get started.
And, of course, Coach Ronald Ross would like to be the 3rd coach in Hobbs history to win both as a player and a coach here at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, so that's another feather under the cap if he could get that with the victory here tonight. So we got the Hobbs Eagles and the Las Cruces Bulldogs here at Tasker. We'll be about 3 minutes away from the introductions as we'll take a 3-minute break. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Hoops at the 65th Annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
those watching on the line, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors, because without them we would not be able to do this on the air. Thriftway and La Tienda, Rent-A-Center, Coffee House, Hydrotech, Eunice Pump and Supply, Hobbs Rental, United Realty, and NMR Pipeline. We thank every one of our sponsors for being here and being part of this experience, the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Back in just a moment with more of the game, pregame, as well as the tip-off of the game and the lineups.
Welcome back to Task Arena, the 65th Annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament, live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty friend Ron Gunner, we have got a big game here at Tasker tonight. The Hobbs Eagles open up the tournament against Las Cruces High. And Las Cruces won this tournament a few years ago, Ron. There's 3 teams that are in the tournament this year that have won that, including Hobbs.
Yeah, Farmington, Hobbs, and Las Cruces, this team. So, yeah, not expecting that to happen. But then again, that's the reason why they play the games. You never know who's going to come out strong and be able to get the lead first off.
Eagles took 4th last year at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, lost in the 3rd place game, lost to Farmington in the semifinals 56-50, and also lost to Volcano Vista in that 3rd place game by 20, 68-48. Josiah Clay had 12 in that game, Abraham Pena 10, and big man Henderson had 6. So a couple guys getting a chance to play Volcano Vista, but they were one of the tough teams in the state last year.
Exactly. Volcano Vista is always tough on both sides of the ball, and nobody could stop them at that point.
Of course, the state champs and are 6-0 right now in the Max Preps poll. We got the prayer starting here at Task Arena. We will take another 90-second break. Welcome back to Task Arena. The Hobbs fight song going on right now for the 65th annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament. The Hobbs Eagles taking on Las Cruces High. Of course, Eagles been here for 65 years. This is the 65th. 8th tournament for Las Cruces. They played here in 1960-62, 97-98, 2001, and they won this tournament in 2016. Of course, Coach William Benjamin, a very successful coach. They got to the state championship a few years ago and won it here in New Mexico. He had a great son that he had played for him. Of course, he plays at New Mexico Junior College now in his second season, so he does know what he's doing when it comes against the Hobbs Eagles. But the last couple of years, the Eagles have had the winning margin, of course, winning by 11 last year, and then playing tonight in this one to try to get their first win of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Your starting lineup, first of all, for Las Cruces, they have their guard, number 3, Joseph Brisby, sophomore. He did play last year against the Eagles. Another one that returns, number 10, Dominic Luttrell. He is a junior shooting guard. Number 14, Ezekiel Acosta, a junior post player. At number 20, Bird Navarez, senior point guard. And number 23, Jaden Brisby, he is a 6'2" freshman shooting forward. And so their tallest guy out on the court, at least as a starter, at 6'4". So that's definitely going to be a big size advantage for Parker Henderson and the Hobbs Eagles. Take a look at your starters for Hobbs. Braddock Beatty, who averages 3.2 points a game and is 5 of 9 from the charity stripe. You got big man senior Parker Henderson, the 7-footer. He comes in averaging close to 7 points a game and is also second on the team in rebounds at 7 a contest. Amari McGahey, the senior guard, he comes in averaging 2.6 a game. Abraham Pena, the leading scorer now, averaging 20.2 points a game, leads a team with 12 three-pointers this season. And he's an all-around guy for you. Also free throw shooter, 27 of 29 in the 90% plus range game after game. Last but not least, the journeyman, Jairus Turbiatis, with 10 points a contest. He is the leading rebounder at 9.2 a game. Those are your starters. Again, the Hobbs Eagles, those of you watching on the, of course, YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. The white uniforms, black name, and gold numbers for the Eagles. And Las Cruces wearing the blue uniforms, white numbers, and red trim. Those are the two contests for the first round. The winner of this game, who they got tomorrow, Ron?
They've got Farmington, and it was no contest at all. It was a final score of 81-43 against El Paso Parkland. So winner of this one gets to face Farmington again. And again, it's going to be around 8:15 to start right here at Hobbs at the Tasker Arena as well. So, yeah, it'll be a good game, but today we got to focus on the Bulldogs first. You got to get past them to be able to get to the Farmington Scorpions.
And we mentioned earlier that real close game with La Cueva that they lost 38-36, Las Cruces. La Cueva had 7 blocked shots against Las Cruces High. And, of course, you got Parker Henderson at 7 foot. That might be a tasty feat for him to take care of tonight.
Exactly. He could do it on blocks. He could go on rebounds as well as, of course, get under the basket, be able to get those easy layups, and maybe even a dunk or two.
Those 9 turnovers against Mayfield, a very low number the other night, puts the Eagles down to 15 turnovers a contest, so that is a bright spot. Hobbs now has 33 three-point shots. We said the leader earlier, Abraham Pena, with 12. The Eagles are shooting 63% from the charity stripe, 71 of 112. And, of course, we mentioned that stellar free throw shooting of Pena, 27 of 29, 95% this season. So definitely doing some good stuff. Of course, the Hobbs Lady Eagles winning by 50-plus earlier tonight, so they punched their ticket. Who are they playing tomorrow, Ron?
They are playing Albuquerque El Dorado, I believe. Let me double-check to make sure I got that. Yes, Albuquerque El Dorado. They won against Alamogordo, who has been losing so far, has not got a win yet. Final score on that one is 49-21. So up next is Albuquerque El Dorado.
Both teams on the court now ready for a jump. As, of course, you know who's going to be starting for the Eagles in this circle. That's going to be Parker Henderson, as he'll go up against Jaden Brisby, who they've got listed at 6'2" as a freshman. So we'll have to wait and see how he's going to stack up, as he is definitely about 8 inches shorter than his big man there, make it 9 or 10 inches. And Henderson gets an easy tip into the backcourt to get this underway. Abraham Pena will bring it up against the 2-3 zone for Las Cruces in the half court. 2 extended guards at the half court line, throws over to the left side to Beatty, going to hold it for a second. Cross court right to Turbiatis, trying to move the zone. Returns to Pena on the left wing, posting up Henderson left elbow, over to Beatty on the left baseline underneath the hoop. The wraparound throw out of bounds to the near right sideline behind McGahey for the first Eagle turnover. They were trying to move that zone around, but you got to get guys in position before you make those passes.
Yeah, plus you got to be in the right spot. McGahey was moving to the right, he needed to move to the left.
Inbound to the baseline for Navarez. Gets over to the far right to Brisby in the backcourt, to the timeline left to Latrell. He'll bring it across against Turbiatis and flicks it out behind him to Navarez. Gives it back to Latrell for a 3, an air ball on the left side, pulled down by Braddock Beatty. Throws it ahead to a breaking jam. It's Turbiatis, a chance for a tomahawk jam. Comes off the left of the rim on the left side. Rebound by Bird Navarez. Boy, that was a Michael Jordan-esque type of move. Unfortunately, couldn't convert it.
Exactly, everything but the finish.
Across to Joseph Brisby in the front court left wing. Hands it off right beside him to Brisby. Jaden Brisby got 2 in the game right now. Over to Latrell on the right wing. Hand off to Navarez around the right circle and backs out against McGahey. Up the far right sideline. Bounce pass right behind him. Almost knocked the knees off of Brisby. Stop and go dribble to the right wing and hands it right back to Navarez. Gets through 2 defenders. Fakes a shot for the free throw. Goes back door. Baseline J. 5-footer put through by Brisby. First points of the game, 2 for Jaden Brisby. 6:40 left first quarter. A 1-2-2 full court trap for Las Cruces. In the backcourt, Pena getting double teamed. Bad throw to the timeline. Picked off for Navarro. Second turnover. Shot for the free throw line off the back of the rim. Chased down for Braddock Beatty and the Eagles on the far left. Going ahead to Parker Henderson. Double hand dunk over the front of the rim. They got off to the races on that one. No D getting back for Las Cruces. Tied up the score at 2-2.
And a nice slam jam on that one for Henderson. He really stuffed it in there strong and made sure he got the hoop, all of it.
Bird Navarez lost the ball as he tried to dribble up the far right sideline. And McGahey and Pena double teaming him. Inbound to Pena, left wing for 3, in and out, no good. Rebound on the right block for Las Cruces by Jaden Brisby, his first board. Throws it across the timeline to Latrell on the right wing. Gives it back to the guard at the scorer's table. And that is Navarez driving right to left, top of the circle. Handed it off to Brisby. Comes around the right side. Got away with it. Carry. Referee passed on that one. He said it was a juggle. Gives it back to the right wing to Navarez. A runner shot down the lane on the right side of the paint. Puts it through. Got through the little gap there. His first bucket. It's 4-2 Las Cruces. McGahey goes to the timeline. Throws it across to Beatty. Back to McGahey on the right wing. Has a man open. Terabiatis in the right corner for a tray. Couldn't get all the syllables out that time. But Jairus throws it home. And first tray of the game. 5-4. Hobbs by 1. A cross-court pass from left to right, almost to the scorer's table. Navarro saves it, throws it in the lane to Brisby. Going back door away, spinning. Ezekiel Acosta dumps it back to the right block. Shifting of the feet by Jaden Brisby for the travel. And the first Bulldog turnover. They don't want to start getting a tit-for-tat situation with Hobbs and have turnovers on their offensive possessions.
Exactly, 2-on-2, and Henderson was one of those and was able to cause that shuffle of the feet.
Pena throws it across the timeline to Turbiatis' right corner. Same side to McGahey behind him. Over to Pena in the far left in front of the scorer's table. Gets some tough pressure by Joseph Brisby. Stop and go. Unloads to McGahey right wing. Hands it right back to Pena on the right side. Backing into his defender now. Gets some pressure for Navarez. To Turbiatis in the right corner. Back up top to Pena. NBA 3 on the way and nothing but net. The defender Navarez backed off for a second. And Mr. Pena makes it pay for it. Second tray for the Hobbs Eagles in this first quarter. 8-4. Long pass to the other end, going hard to the rack. Brisby with a double clutch off the right rim, no good. Rebound for Abraham Pena. He'll bring the dribble up to the time stripe. We got a whistle on the Las Cruces baseline on defense. It looks like Braddock Beatty lost his tennis shoe on that far left sideline. That's why they stopped the game.
Exactly, just lost his shoe. But 6-0 run is what Hobbs is on right now, and they're coasting with a 4-point lead against the Bulldogs.
Got to get some Velcro on those shoes, Mr. Beatty, as it's 4:38 left first quarter. Hobbs doubling up on Las Cruces, their biggest lead of 4. And trying to get everything sorted out now. Looks like Coach Benjamin went to his bench and brought in a sub during that little break there.
Sure did.
And looks like trying to see who that checked in on that spot. Turned the other way when it happened. Get that here in just a minute. Boy, Turbiatis getting some tough pressure on the inbound on the left wing. Brisby all over him. Throws it up top to McGahey. Back to Pena on the left side. Jab step, gives it Turbiatis left elbow. Returns back to Pena on the wing. Drives baseline. Stops and shoots 15-footer. The breaks and then the shot through the hole. Back-to-back buckets for Pena. He leads the Eagles with 5. Hobbs up with their biggest lead at 6. A steal at half court by Beatty. Turner number 2. He'll shoot from the left block and scores off the J. Beatty with his first bucket. 4 scores in the books for the Hobbs Eagles. Now up 12-4, and Coach Benjamin wants a timeout. You can see the pace starting to go on the Eagles' momentum here, Ron.
Exactly, a 10-point run, and that is definitely going to get that done for you. 8 in the lead with 4-1 to go in this first.
We'll keep it right here at Tasker Arena. Of course, the 65th Annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament. We got the duration of it Friday and Saturday. back-to-back coverage. In fact, we'll have 2 games right here on the radio tomorrow. Hobbs Lady Eagles, and then the boys after that. We have Texas Tech football that's going on the Eagles, so we won't have the girls game there, but it'll be a nice chance to have both games on the same station.
And we won't have to worry about trying to get back and forth between stations. It'll just be a simple matter of listening to Cool 95.7, or you can watch it live here, or if you cannot attend to it, of course, you always have it on one of our Hobbs sports channels, whether it be on YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, or even on Facebook on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page.
So Coach Benjamin burns his first timeout about halfway through this first quarter, almost exact, 4:01 remaining. Hobbs up 12-4. Abraham Pena with 5 points, 3 for Turbiatis, and a bucket apiece for Beatty and Henderson. Of course, Henderson with that double hand dunk. Did you go on a zoom in on that one, Ron, and see his face as he slammed it through?
I tried to get it. I did pretty good, though, but it's hard to get it when he's got his back to you.
Navarez gets it across the timeline off the inbound to the far right side. Throws it back deep to the time stripe to Joseph Brisby. Drives the lane hard. Kick out right side to Jaden Brisby. His 15-footer off the rim, no good. Ripped down by Pena underneath the hoop. That's his second rebound. Throws it across the timeline to Beatty. Spots up an NBA 3 from the left wing. Bounces out the front of the rim, no good. Underneath, ripping it down is Dominic Luttrell for Las Cruces. Tries to throw it down the lane, overthrows Fielder. Almost a steal for Braddock Beatty as he jumps in the air. Of course, he's a wide receiver on the football team and could not get the grip on it.
Yeah, he had the tip but not the grip. So, yeah, he tried to get it out of, to keep it from going out of bounds, and instead he wasn't successful.
We don't need your poetry, Ron. Hit back from the right baseline now. Luttrell gets it in on the right wing to Fielder. Fielder gives it to the corner. Driving is Navarez. He'll bowl out against Amari McGahade's defense. Returns to the far right sideline to Brisby near the scorer's table. Dribbles up top with a handoff to Navarez. Kick it right wing. Luttrell fires up an NBA 3. It flips over the top of the backboard and taken down by Mr. Pena for his third board. Now in the front court, 2-3 zone still. Wraparound pass to Beatty, right wing, down to Turbiatis, right baseline, 15-footer in and out. Parker Henderson tries a fade shot for the right block of the rebound, gets his arm ripped backwards. Can't get it to drop, but a foul call, his first board. And Henderson will get a chance for 2 free throws here. First foul against Las Cruces, and they'll charge that one to Quentin Fielder, his first.
Yeah, Henderson was falling backwards, could not adjust with the shot. However, he did get the foul, so that will count. And if he can get these 2, it would be nice to get a start 14-4. That'd be a 10-point lead.
He's 12 for 20 on the season. First shot is in and out, no good. 60% now, drops under 60 to about 57. He'll get one more attempt here. First free throw of the game for either team. Still an 8-point lead. Lyric Soria checks in for Hobbs at the guard position. Also on the court for the Eagles, Josiah Clay, who had some good points last year against Las Cruces. Turbiatis stays in, and of course Henderson on the line. Second shot is up, and it's bouncing off the front of the rim, no good. A whistle on the rebound. I think they're going to say somebody might have been in the lane too quickly for Las Cruces, so he'll get one more to Henderson, saving him from going 0 for 2 on the line.
So, yeah, I didn't see who did the lane violation, but definitely on the Bulldogs. So, one more for Henderson. Scratch that last one. It wouldn't have counted if he wouldn't have made it anyway. So he needs to make an adjustment, get that one in, and get this one up to 13.
He had 11 against Mayfield before Christmas and nails the second free throw. Now with 3 points and a 13-4 lead, 9-point lead, the biggest of the game. It'll be Las Cruces basketball on their backcourt left baseline. Running up and down, looking for help as Navarez gets it into the left corner to Brisby. Throws it to the timeline to Clark. Into the front court. Up top of the arc to Brisby. Joseph Brisby dumps it to the right block. Shot from point-blank range off the rim, no good for Fielder. But chased down in the left corner. Rebound, but then stepping on that sideline for the turnover. And that'll be Joseph Brisby. That'll be his first board, but will be the third turnover for Las Cruces.
They ran out of real estate on that one. Tried really hard, but just ran out of bounds.
Pena will get the inbound. It comes across the timeline on the zigzag. Handed off to Soria left side. Up top to Clay. Over back to Pena left wing. Fires off a 3 off the right rim. Gets knocked out of bounds as Turbiatis going toe-to-toe with Quentin Fielder on the right baseline. They'll give it to the Eagle. Nope, going to Las Cruces. They're saying last touch by Turbiatis. His sister was in town this weekend, too. She's playing some college hoops over in Texas. Got a chance to talk to her, Elise Turbiatis, and her mom. 13-4 the score. Hobbs by 9. In the front court, top of the circle, Navarez fires up a 3, in and out, no good. And speaking of the devil, Turbiatis with the rebound. Underneath the hoop, rips it with his bicep, his first board. Into the front court to Soria, right wing. Back to Turbiatis, top of the arc. To Pena on the left wing. Thought about an NBA 3, decided against it with the defense of Brisby. Over to the right wing is Clay. Drives the right block. Double clutch off the side of the glass and rim. No good. And pulled down underneath the hoop by Jaden Brisby, his second rebound. Throws it across the timeline to Joseph Brisby. Drives the lane. Double clutch is rejected by Pena. Rebound by Turbiatis. 2-on-1. Goes it back door. Going up high as Clay misses on a double clutch. And a long rebound at the free throw line by Quentin Fielder for Las Cruces. Lost the ball, got it back, and returns deep to Luttrell. Stop and go dribble. Correction, that was Navarez. He got by Clay, and then Clay reached down with a meat hook and tried to pull him back as he tried to head to that far right sideline. So Clay will pick up his first team foul against Eagles. One foul apiece on both squads with 1:48 left first quarter. Pretty clean so far, Ron.
Oh, definitely clean so far. In fact, it's going to be one of those situations probably we're going to get to see very few foul shots, and so you got to make the most of those as it is. But right now, Eagles still up by 13 with that big run of 11.
Inbound to the backcourt, Joseph Brisby, the clutch to the right rack. He got it underneath his bicep, got swatted, pulled down for Clay, going to the other end. Double clutch coming down the paint, scores near the front of the rim. So he went the distance that time, did Clay, after a rebound. His first bucket of the game, 15-4. The biggest lead is 11. Going to the other end. Reverse layup to the right as Navarro's got high extension up in the air. Going up to try to block it that time. They call the foul. That was Javen Hernandez, who had just checked in momentarily. They'll hit him with the foul. Hobbs fans not liking that one. They thought they got all leather on that swat.
Exactly, but again, if he gets this shot, this will end a 13-score run for the Hobbs Eagles, and it's the reason why they got a 15-4 lead so far.
Jaden Brisby with a hard shot off the back of the rim, a brick. So they're just 0 for 1 now as the first free throw attempt for Las Cruces, who now trails by 11, 15-4 the score.
So yeah, they are definitely struggling on all aspects. We had a feeling they would with their record 3-6, but you never know until you get to play them what they're going to do.
Second shot hard off the rim again, chased down in the right corner for the Eagles, and jumping up the near sideline for Hobbs, but getting the ball stripped, and then going to the other rack and scoring on the left glass is Joseph Brisby, his first bucket. That was a turnover by Trey Hutchings, third turnover of the game. Hobbs up by 9, 15-6. Driving through traffic now in the front court, a fadeaway on the right elbow by Clay off the left rim, no good. The point guard rips it down for Las Cruces, Bert Navarez, and looks like he might have got accidentally poked in the eye, or as he gets hunched over, they stop action and waiting to see what the situation's going to be here. They're calling the foul on that one. Just looked like inadvertent, and already a quick 2 now on the fouls for Javen Hernandez, and it looked like the guard just kind of flung his head around and accidentally bumped into Hernandez that time.
And, you know, it's always amazing that there's not more incidental contact like that, but still not something you want to see.
Inbound comes to the right baseline. Luttrell unloads to the far right side to Brisby. He comes down the lane, jump stop, kick it left wing to Navarez. Cross court right to the corner to Luttrell. Returns back deep to Navarez. He's guarded closely. And sliding from left to right on top of him was Peyton Hodge, who didn't get to play last week, but he's back in action tonight. Pass over to left wing is over the head of Zayden Clark, out of bounds to the Hobbs Eagles student section. And that'll be another turnover for Las Cruces, their fourth. And good to see a strong student section tonight with the Christmas holiday going on.
Exactly, and yeah, that was just an errant pass. Had no way of being able to get caught.
Peyton Hodge comes across, gets away with the travel with the double clutch. Pass to Sori, who fumbles his feet a little bit. Goes to the right elbow, and a fadeaway J for the sophomore Trey Hutchings to put it through. Eagles now have 6 scorers in the books. They lead by 11 again. Their biggest lead tied up 17-6. Double team by McGahey and Soria as they take on Joseph Brisby on the far right sideline. He tried to get through him and got slapped a little bit that time by Lyric Soria, his first. That's the 14th foul, one away from the double bonus, although just 16 seconds left in this first quarter, and Eagles up by 11.
So yeah, it won't matter as much. As you said, 16 seconds, not a lot of time to be able to get that bonus activated.
Long inbound to the lane in the backcourt to Clark. He'll send it back to the far side right to Navarez. Comes across, gets stripped at the time stripe, the rip away for the Eagles. It's Trey Hutchings with a lefty layup after he gets the steal. He's got 4 points, the 5th Las Cruces turnover. Biggest lead is 13 for Hobbs. They'll try a 3/4 court shot at the buzzer for Las Cruces. Well short of the rim and to the left. At the end of one, your Hobbs Eagles opening up the 65th annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament, 19-6 over Las Cruces High. Back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Heading into the second quarter of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament first round, your Eagles up over Las Cruces 19-6. Scoring coming from 5 for Abraham Pena, 4 for Trey Hutchings, 3 apiece for Turbiatis and Henderson. Eagles out rebounding Las Cruces 9-7. Their top scorer, nobody more than 2, Brisby, Navarez, and Brisby. Las Cruces shooting from the first shot of the second quarter off the mark, the left corner by Luttrell. Rebound for Turbiatis, his third. Gets it over to Abraham Pena. Pena led with 3 rebounds in the first quarter. To Beatty on the left elbow, down low to Henderson, just leans over the rim and throws it up. Kind of a nonchalant flick of the wrist that time, and he gets it to go through. Henderson now with 5 points. They go down the lane at the other end to Acosta with a hook shot over the right side. Hits the glass, but no rim. Rebound by McGahey. As Amari McGahey with his first board gets it across to Pena, and Hobbs ended up that first quarter with a big run, Ron.
Exactly, they did. 17-2 after a 4-point lead, 4-2 for Las Cruces.
They get it to Henderson on the right elbow, turns and fires to Jay, clinks off the right rim, no good. Rebound underneath by Luttrell, his second board. He gets it across to Navarez, down the lane to the left elbow, puts on the brakes, kicks out left to Brisby. Up top to Joseph Brisby, drives the lane, bounce pass back door, waiting for it is Acosta, lays it up with 2 hands on the left side and puts it through. That's the 4th score of the game for Las Cruces. Eagles already have 6 in the books. 21-8, back to a 13-point lead. 15 has been the highest here in the second quarter. They have Mr. Henderson wide open underneath. His dunk is missed, but he goes back up on the right glass and tips it off the glass into the hole for 2. He tried to go up with 2 hands first on the left side on an alley-oop, but could not come down with it. 7 points for Henderson, and the Hobbs Eagle defense putting on the pressure. Ball goes off the hands of Joseph Brisby on the baseline to the far right, fumbles it out, and Hobbs will get that turnover, number 6 on the Bulldogs.
That's all right. They'll be able to stop it from this side. They're still in the back court.
Inbound left corner to Beatty, fadeaway 3 off the back of the rim. Ball tipped around, and Las Cruces comes down with it underneath the net. Brisby, Jaden Brisby, his 3rd rebound. Outlet to the time stripe, slowing it down as Navarez. Stop and go against McGahey, now on the front court left side. He's going to cut it back to the top of the arc. They're going to call the hold on McGahey. That'll be his first personal. Just the first team foul here in the second quarter. Remember the reset this year. We don't go with the 1-on-1 bonus. It's 5 fouls and double, so right now 1-0 foul count. Inbound to the backcourt to Brisby, Joseph Brisby, 23-8 Eagles. 6:12 remaining in the first half. Crossover move from Joseph Brisby, top of the arc, gives it off to Navarez. Back over to the right wing, and coming back to the timeline off the dribble is the other Navarez, Bird. Dribbles to the right block, his shot rejected by Beatty. Rebound for Pena now in the front court, his 4th board. He fires it with 3 on the left side, in and out. High sky and rebound for the little guard on that left baseline. That was Navarez for Las Cruces, Bird Navarez. He'll come into the front court against a matchup zone now. Unloads the left wing to Brisby. Joseph Brisby tries to drive to the rack. It looks like a double team with Beatty and McGahey. They get the ball knocked out, and it will be Las Cruces basketball left of their rim.
Yeah, went off of Beatty's side, trying to get the ball disrupted. Did a pretty good job, but wasn't able to get anything more than that.
Inbounding is Bird Navarez. Looking desperately. Bounce pass to the right block. Pivoting and spinning to the right, Acosta. Hook shot off the back of the rim, no good. Another rebound for Pena on the right block. His 5th board. Up ahead to a breaking McGahey. Takes on 2 defenders in the right rack and scores off the layup. McGahey with a great transition at the other end of the pass from Pena. 25-8. Eagles' biggest lead now is 17 here in the second quarter.
Yeah, perfect pass from Pena.
Navarez gives off to the top of the arc to Luttrell. Double team with McGahey and Pena. Spins. Pass down to the left corner to Luttrell for 3 and swishes it. His first bucket of the ball game, and just the first tray of the game for Las Cruces, who trails by 14. And a pass gets deflected for the Eagles up the near sideline in front of the Taskovich drum section there. Beatty to inbound, gets it back to Pena as the Cruces Dogs are going to back up to a zone defense, an extended 2-3. To Beatty on the right wing, posting up Henderson, gets double teamed, ball knocked out of his hands as it's ripped away by Dominic Luttrell, turnover number 4 for the Eagles. Up ahead to Brisby, left side of the block. He's going to pivot outside the paint, and he throws over to the right wing to Luttrell. Bounce pass in the paint, ripped away by Beatty, turnover number 7. He'll throw an alley-oop back door to Pena, who tried to dunk, had to hold on to the rim. He couldn't get the grab he wanted, and then the rebound pulled down by Luttrell. Up ahead to the right corner to Jaden Brisby. Back to the right wing to Bert Navarez. He's at the timeline, guarded by Beatty, who tried to slap from behind, no foul. Bounce pass to the left corner to Luttrell. Another 3 on the way, and there it is again, back-to-back for Luttrell. Second tray for him. He's got all 6 points in the second quarter, and Coach Ronald Ross does not want to see those outside shots starting to get away at this lead. 25-14, Hobbs leading Las Cruces up by 11. We're back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Welcome back to Hobbs Eagle action here on Cool 95.7. A couple of trays have put Bulldogs back in just by 11, but it is 25-14, and with the call, here is Ty Friend.
Yeah, I guarantee you Coach Ross was talking to his squad about making sure somebody gets in that left corner and puts a hand up against Dominic Luttrell, who's hit both trays so far, 6 points. Now the leading scorer, all 6 of those points in the second quarter so far. Hobbs still up by 11. That's kind of a nice cushion to have. Eagles up by as many as 17 in this second quarter, but definitely don't want to be chipped away at this point. Of course, the Eagles in the first round of the 65th annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament here at Tasker.
And Las Cruces has already outscored their first one, 6 in the first. Right now they've got 8 points. Of course, they'd like to get more, but Hobbs, on the other hand, is going to stop them or slow them down anyway.
4:17 left here in the first half. Hobbs by 11. One-man wrecking crew defensively. Joseph Brisby trying to take on 3 guards for the Eagles. Pena has it near side, throws it across to Turbiatis on the right wing front court. Spins, dribbles behind his back, uses up the dribble. Back to Pena at the timeline, holding on to it, and unloads to the left side of the arc to Hutchings. Drives the lane, gets hit from behind, no call, ball loose, and pulled away by Quentin Fielder. And that'll be a Hobbs Eagle turnover number 5. Into the front court to the guard, Navarez. Stop and go dribble to the left wing, flicks it over. And getting the ball is Brisby. Drives the right side of the lane, turns and fires a hook shot. Might have got pushed just a little bit to the right side of the lane. So Jaden Brisby going to get a foul call there against the Eagles. Misses the shot off the rim, but he'll get 2 free throws out of this one. That's going to be the second team foul against the Eagles as they charge that one to Trey Hutchings, his first. That'll put Jaden Brisby on the line 0 for 2 so far. The only guy that shot free throws in this first half. Another brick off the back of the rim. He keeps hitting that back support back there.
He's just putting a little too much mustard on it and not the right spin either. So he needs to correct himself. In fact, he almost missed that ball. It was passed to him.
Yeah,
he's going to go ahead and get it back.
The baseline official hit that ball hard and hit him in the chest as he turned his head just a second. So had to recheck it to him. Second shot is another brick off the back of the rim, 0 for 3. Rebound far left sideline, pulled down by Hutchings, his first board. Dribbles to the time stripe, throws it across to Payton down the front court against that 2-3 zone. Back to Hutchings, NBA 3 on the way, off the mark, way off the mark, an air ball on the baseline, just waiting for it with the big outfielder mitt was Fielder. No pun intended. Throws it across the timeline to Brisby left wing, cross court right to Joseph Brisby, back to the timeline to Navarez. Stop and go dribble after a screen from Fielder. Fires up a 3 off balance off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound on the right block by Fielder. He's going to fade away in the right corner for a 3 in and out, no good. And then Pena pulls it out for the Eagles, his 6th board. He's going to dribble across with a pass down to the right corner to Soria. Soria gets stripped, no call. Pulled down by the pass to Hutchings on the right wing. Back to Soria, right corner against that zone. One-hand bounce pass to big man Henderson, right corner. Cross court left to Pena. To Turbiatis in the left corner, a double team. Returns to Pena, far left sideline. Backs it out with 2:48 left in the half. He's going to take an NBA 3 after a screen from Henderson. Misses it. Henderson rebound, top of the arc. His second rebound. And he's going to dish that ball off, and the shot is going, and it is going to be a 3 on the right wing by Lyric Soria, the sophomore. He had 3 against Mayfield last week. At the other end, long pass down to the left block to Quentin Fielder, lays it in for 2 as big man Henderson tried to swat him, but a little bit too late on that one. 28-16, a 12-point Eagle lead. Turbiatis in the front court on the right wing, drives the lane, tries a scoop shot on the left side, short, put up by Henderson, can't get it to drop on the right rim. Ball loose in the paint and pulled down at the free throw line by Brisby. Brisby will hand it off to Navarez into the front court on the right wing. Puts on the brakes, gives it off to the right corner to Luttrell. His NBA 3 is short, and a rebound by Henderson is 4. Outlet to the near right sideline. To Soria, stop and go. Puts on the brakes, right elbow. Throws behind to Henderson for 3. His 3 shot off the back of the rim. Pulled down outside the paint, left side by Brisby. He's got 4 rebounds. Unloads to Bert Navarez. Stop and go dribble against Payton now in the front court on the right wing with 1:40 left in the half. Gives it off to Luttrell, gets it back, does Navarez, and drives to the timeline. at the top of the circle. Stop and go to the left elbow. Gives it off to Latrell in the left corner. Returns it right back to Navarez in the left wing. Up top to Fielder. Handed off to Navarez. Fadeaway shot from 10 feet on the right of the paint. No good. And Turbiot to Sky High for the rebound. His fourth. Outlet to Pena on the far left with 1:15 left in the half. Up by 12 of the Eagles. 28-16 over Las Cruces. Over to right wing to Soria. Give to Turbiot his right elbow. Over to Pena left wing. Down to the corner left side. Hutchings three on the fadeaway off the back of the rim. Rebound at the free throw line by Jaden Brisby, his fifth. And a quick whistle at the timeline as he tried to bring it across. Got a hold foul against the Eagles. That's a third team foul. They charge out to Trey Hutchings, his second. And that'll stop the action. Looks like time for sub time for both coaches. Coming on the court for the Eagles, Peyton Hodge seeing his second action.
I said that'd be Navarro, his second.
And that'll be skipping with the lineup now. Josiah Clay will come in as well. Turbiata stays in. We mentioned Hodge already and Pena out there. Inbound coming in the backcourt to Navarro. Stop and go dribble front side of the right wing. Bounce it down low to the right block to Acosta. Gets it stripped out of his hands by Josiah Clay. Turnover number 8 for Las Cruces. Clay will bring it across the timeline. One hands it over to Pena. Drives right baseline. High Sky gets knocked to the face. Ball sails out to the baseline. Getting a piece of it that time was Ezequiel Acosta. No foul call. Almost looked like he had his head taken off. They're going to give it back to Las Cruces and say, last touch by Pena. The inbound comes to the deep left corner to Zayden Clark. He tries to spin. The spin is what the contact was made with Josiah Clay. The crowd saw the foul call. Not a happy camper on that one. That'll be the second on Clay on the wrong place at the wrong time there for the 14th foul.
Yeah, unfortunately it is, but it does not count against him. It does not put him in bonus over 39.9, and it could with one more foul.
Yeah, 4-0 foul count in the favor of Las Cruces here in the second with 38 seconds left in the half. The inbound coming into Navarez. He wants to take on Pena one-on-one through the time stripe. Crossover moves left, down to the right, spins, pivoting, looking for help, and unloads the ball to Latrell on the left wing. He hit those two trays earlier. Up top, now on the pivot, the pass to Clark. Gives it off to the right wing to Navarez. Dumps it in the paint, the ball loose, stripped out of Acosta's hands. And here comes Soria for the Eagles after the night turnover. He goes to the rack on the right side, is knocked to the floor, somersaulted to the Las Cruces bench behind the hoop. He got fouled hard, no chance to get that shot in the hole, but the foul going to be called. And that is just the second team foul in the game for Las Cruces. Had one in the first, one in the second. And they call this against Zayden Clark, his first in the ball game. So Fielder and Clark have one foul apiece, and that's it. Lyric Story has a tray, has not yet shot a free throw in this game, and swishes his first there. As Lyric is 1 of 6 so far this season, now making 2 of 7 after that made throw. He's got 4 points, all coming in this second quarter, the sophomore. 8 scorers so far for the Eagles in the books. Second shot's a swish for Soria, 2 for 2 and 5 points. 14-point lead for the Eagles, 30-16 with 12 seconds remaining. Pass to the far right sideline, dribbling is Clark. Throws it down to the right corner to Brisby. Throws it down the lane. Soria makes a steal for the 10th turnover. Throws it down the lane at the other end. A jump shot and lost by Hodge in the air off the back of the rim. Rebound and toss for a three-quarter shot at the buzzer by Bert Navarez, well short of the rim. So that will end the first half of action. Your Hobbs Eagles up big, 30-16 over Las Cruces. First round of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament coming up in 2 minutes.
When do you want me to load it?
Let me just get a quick rundown real quick, and then we'll go right to it.
Okay.
I'm going to rapid fire this.
I thought you were going to get some time off that while it's playing. You got 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
While it's playing, you could go ahead and get your numbers ready.
Yeah, do you want me to go ahead and throw it in?
Yeah, let's come back to me short. Keep it to about a minute. Or maybe
Okay.
minute. Run 3 spots. That'll work.
Nevertheless. 30.
Thank you, 30.
So that we're all on the same page. Once this spot's in, you're going to do your numbers, and then I'm going to throw in the interview.
Yeah, I'll do something. I'll send it to the interview after Welcome back live to Task Arena. Your Hobbs Eagles leading 30-16 over Las Cruces High at the half. And of course, this is the first round of the 65th annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Your Hobbs Eagles right now, their top scorer, Parker Henderson, after that double hand dunk, has 7 points. 5 apiece for Lyric Soria, who had a tray and 2 free throws. Abraham Payne with 5, including a tray. Trey Hutchings with 4. 3 points on a tray by Jairus Turbiatis. Eagles right now with 7 scorers against Las Cruces. Hobbs, not a lot of free throw opportunities so far, but are 3 of 4 from the charity stripe for 75%. And top rebounder at this point is Abraham Payne with 6, 4 apiece for Turbiatis and Henderson. The Eagles have been able to convert on 3 3-pointers in the first half. Looking at Las Cruces' leading scorer, Dominic Luttrell hit 2 trays in the second quarter and now is the leader with just those 2 baskets for 6 points. And 5 other players have 2 apiece. Joseph Brisby, Ezequiel Acosta, Bert Navarez, and Jaden Brisby both have 2, and then Quentin Fielder. So not a lot of going on there for the offense for Las Cruces High. They have had 10 turnovers in the first half. And their top rebounder was Jaden Brisby with 5, 4 for Bert Navarez, and 3 for Dominic Luttrell. Eagles only 5 turnovers, half of what Las Cruces has had in the first half. And Ron, give me a quick summary. What you think Coach Benjamin is telling his Las Cruces Bulldogs to try to get back in this game? They trail by 14.
I think they need to go ahead and press. They were doing some pressing early in this game, and it seemed to be working a little bit for them. They need to get back to that. Of course, they also need to make sure that they're getting some open looks and rebounds as well. So all of these things they need to work on, but definitely need to get those stops, maybe do some pressing like they did earlier. Like I said, it looked like it was working for a little bit. Need to maybe try that again and see if they can slow down this Eagles team.
21-16, Hobbs leading the rebounding battle by 5. And we should mention, too, not very good free throw shooting for Las Cruces. Jaden Brisby, the only guy that shot. He's 0 for 4 so far in the first half of action. We're going to go now and talk to Coach Joey Carpenter with a big win earlier tonight as they got the victory over their opponent from Piedra Vista. That's Farmington, New Mexico.
91-34.
Yeah, 80, big blowout, a mercy rule victory for the Hobbs Lady Eagles in that one over the Panthers. And get him in the booth right now and discuss that game as the Lady Eagles get to the semifinals of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, the 7th annual. We'll send it back to the studio as we go live now with that interview.
While we have a moment, we'd like to thank our sponsors for hosting or for sponsoring our Hobbs Holiday Tournament. That would be Thriftway and La Tienda, Rent-A-Center, Coffee House, Hydrotech, Eunice Pump and Supply, Hobbs Rental, United Reality, and NMR Pipeline.
Thank you.
No, I think we'll go straight back. We have a little over 2 minutes left on the clock. Thank you. Yeah, we'll just go. No break. Welcome back to Hobbs Sports Action. Hobbs basketball to be exact. Eagles up 30-16, 14-point lead as we get into the third quarter. And here with the call is Ty Friend.
Yep, this is the first round of the Hobbs All-Day Tournament. Of course, the Lady Eagles getting that win. We just talked to Coach Carpenter. Excited about that victory in Mercy Rule fashion. They'll play tomorrow night, 6 o'clock pregame show. We'll have both of those games, by the way, the girls and then the boys, here on Cool 95.7. Usually on the Eagle for the girls, but because of Texas Tech football, they will move that to our station here tonight, or tomorrow night. Eagles will start the third quarter with a shot from Beatty on the left side. He misses off the rim, but put back up for Parker Henderson on the right block. And he puts it through for 9 points total and 5 rebounds now as he starts to inch closer to a double-double. 32-16 your score. Pass to the other end to the right block. A shot up on the web, high on the glass. Ezequiel Okosa gets rejected by Turbiatis. Thrown up ahead to Pena for the layup on the right side. Abraham Pena now with 7 points. It's 34-16. That's the biggest lead of the game now at 18 in this game. Half-court inbound, sails towards the scorer's table, and it goes in the front court, but out of bounds. So another Las Cruces turnover. That's 11 in the ball game.
Trying to avoid the press on that one, just could not do it. Tried that helium pass, and it got past his player and definitely got out of bounds.
Eagles had 11-10 in that second quarter before halftime as they led 32-16. Pena gets the inbound left wing, fires a three, and swishes it through. Had a few words for his defender that time. Pena with his second tray of the ball game. That's the third tray for the Eagles. And now 10 points for Pena. 37-16, a 21-point lead at the other end. Shot from the right block, off the dribble, and nailing it is Joseph Brisby, his fourth point of the game. And a quick timeout for Coach Benjamin. He counted an early timeout of the first quarter of that first half, Ron, and then a quick one burned off there. What do you think he's going to pull out of his bag of tricks here? Still down by 19.
I'm not quite sure. He has been unable to get anything defensively, at least any hands in the face to contest any of these shots. That's the reason why Hobbs has got this early lead. In fact, they had 7 unanswered points until that basket just a moment ago. So definitely want to get his defense on the right track. So far, they have not been able to stop anything that the Eagles have been doing, and that benefits, of course, the fans here for the holiday tournament.
Eagles trays 2 for Abraham Pena, and 1 apiece for Lyric Soria and Jairus Turbiatis. So that's 4 trays in the game, doubling up on what Las Cruces has had in the first half with 2. They have yet to score in this third quarter. 7-0 run for the Eagles after the Las Cruces timeout. As everybody gets set up now, Hobbs will have the basketball in their backcourt. Coach Benjamin having some words for the baseline official. One defender back deep in that backcourt to try to see who he can get the ball away from. Joseph Brisby. They get it into Beatty on the far right. Back deep to McGahey. He'll drive up hard the right sideline. Dump it down to Henderson on the right block. He kept underneath the hoop right to left. Misses the reverse scoop and pulled down in the middle of the paint by Las Cruces. Jaden Brisby, his 6th rebound. Gets it over to Joseph Brisby in the front court. Up top to the guard. Bert Navarez goes backdoor with the bounce pass. One-hander down the right side of the lane. Laid up and in from the right glass for Brisby. Jaden Brisby now with 4 points. 37-20. In the front court, McGahey over to left side to Pena. Fakes an NBA 3. Drives him into the lane through 3 defenders. Throws up a shot as he goes chest to chest with the third. Ball comes off the rim. Rebound for Las Cruces. Now in the front court is Navarez, his 5th board. He'll back it out at the top of the arc. Unloads to Brisby on the right wing. Joseph Brisby guarded by Turbiatis. To the free throw line off the dribble. Returns it up top to Navarez. Fires up a 3 out the front of the rim. No good. Rebound for the Eagles on the right block. That's Henderson's 6th board. Up ahead to Beatty on the right baseline. Tries to get back to Henderson on the give and go. It's stolen away in midstream by Dominic Luttrell. That's a 6th Eagle turnover, and down the lane with the pass and the layup put through for Las Cruces. As getting the bucket was Bert Navarez, his 4th point. Another quick timeout on the court. So both coaches getting to that marker board there, trying to get some strategies going, but still you look at the scoreboard, although Las Cruces did score, a 15-point lead for the Eagles, but we've seen some of those leads erode in some games in the past, although Eagles still with that very dominant 7-1 record.
Well, I love the fact that it's a 6-0 run. I don't love that fact, but I love the fact that Ross has said, look, we need to stop that from continuing on. We got a big lead. We still need to play like we've got, we're trying to get the lead all along, and instead, get that, stop that momentum for the Bulldogs, get back into it, and of course, get on the offense and back on track.
Mentioned in the pregame show, the Eagles have been in 54 of the 64 championship games here in the 65th annual Hobbs All-Day Tournament through the years. 37 wins out of those 54 championship games. So they only lost 17 in that those series throughout the year. So pretty exciting stuff for Hobbs in this annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Lots of great teams are here, and we'll talk more about that in the post-game show when we see what the next round is going to bear for the Eagles. Still getting that one-man wrecking crew out there defensively in the backcourt. Joseph Brisby, Eagles getting across, Pena left side, cross-court right to Sori, who just checked in. Sends it to the left wing to McGahey. Going to move that 2-3 zone up top to Pena, back to Sori on the right wing, trying to get 2 defenders to come out. Sliding left and scoops it back over to Hernandez in the right corner, who just checked in. Back to Sori at the timeline. Uses up his dribble against a 2-3 zone to Pena on the left wing. He's just going to back it out, tries to get the defender to come out with him, Joseph Brisby. Waits for a screen from McGahey up top of the circle. One-hand pass to Turbiatis left corner, a 3 off the front of the rim. Rebound on the left block by Luttrell, his 4th. Ball's loose as Hernandez gets a piece of it on the floor there. Underneath the hoop, there's a fist up in the air from the baseline official. Somebody must have clamped onto an arm. I think that's going against Hobbs. And that's going to get Hernandez. He seems to always be in the wrong place at the right time. The kid is scrappy, though, and he's going to reach out and try to get the ball from you.
Exactly, he did, but 3rd foul, and that's not going to cost him too much, but still, you don't like to see 3 fouls on anybody.
First foul on the Eagles team at 37-22. The inbound pass slapped out to the baseline by Turbiatis. Right base now in the backcourt for Las Cruces. They get it into deep left corner to Brisby. He's going to dribble through the pressure, throws it across the timeline to Navarez, puts on the break, shot from the top of the arc, no good off the back of the rim. Turbiatis rips it down for his 5th rebound. Underhands it to Pena in the front court against that 2-3 zone left wing. Screen from Turbiatis, decides not to use it. Gives it to Turbiatis left wing, down to the left corner to Soria. Returns to Jay Iris on that left side with a pivot, fires it back deep to Pena. He'll back it out near the scorer's table right. Stop and go dribble against Brisby down the lane. Bounce pass back door to Turbiatis. Looks like it got off the foot of a Las Cruces defender down there, luckily for the Eagles, off the foot of Ezequiel Acosta, but good ball movement for the Hobbs on that series.
Exactly, just hit off the foot, otherwise could have been an easy layup for Turbiatis, but still, just wasn't quite in the right spot.
Left baseline inbound for Hobbs. Trey Hutchings, who just checked in, the sophomore. He's got 4 points. Gets it in left corner to Peyton Hodge, who checked in as well. Drives the lane, kick out right wing to Soria. Fadeaway 3 off the back of the rim. High in the air is Jaden Brisby for a 7th rebound for Las Cruces. Outlet far left sideline to Joseph Brisby, the brother. Kicks it to the left corner, faking a three. Dominic Luttrell returns it back to Joseph Brisby. Drives the right elbow. Hippity hop. Reverse layup right side. High off the glass. Hits the left rim and off. But they got a body foul on the Eagles in the air that time. And that's going to be called against Javen Hernandez. Picks up 2 quick fouls. He's got 4 total now. Second team foul against the Eagles here in the third quarter. And on the line, that'll be Joseph Brisby. As a team, they're 0 for 4, but all 4 free throw attempts from Jaden Brisby, his brother. So maybe Joseph can try to improve the family name here. A couple makes here, but that one's a wicked. Did you see the spin on that one? That looked like Mars in the wrong rotation there.
It barely even made it to the rim, but still, the Las Cruces Bulldogs are taking advantage, or trying to take advantage. They're not really, because they're not making them, but they are getting these fouls called for them. Hobbs, on the other hand, hasn't had too many fouls against them or calls for them, so they need to get that if they want to get on the line and be able to increase this lead.
They're 0 for 5, now 0 for 6. That brick off the back of the rim, pulling it down at the free throw line off the ricochet was Clay. He takes a few dribbles, throws it across the top and a low one, picked off on the half-court line by Brisby. He's going to go to the rack right side and score. That'll be the Eagles' 7th turnover, and Brisby now with 6 points. Long pass to the other end, a fadeaway in the lane, off the front of the rim by Hutchings. And now a foul on the rebound. Hobbs up by 13, 37-24. Let's see if they're going to call this a shooting foul or just a board foul. Yep, Turbiante's heading the line right now as they get that foul against Quentin Fielder, his second, and the first team foul here in the third quarter for Las Cruces.
Turbiantes is a decent foul shooter, but definitely wanted to see those contacts made to make them go to the line or get to the line.
Hits the front of the rim on that one. Came into the contest at 50%, 11 of 22, now 11 of 23 after the miss there. He's sitting at 3 points that he had at halftime off a tray, as he wants to add to that right now. Up by 13 are the Eagles.
Bulldogs on an 8-0 run. Hobbs needs to end that if they want to get back to double digits on their lead.
Second shot for Turbiantes. Better spin and rotation on that one as it goes through. He's got 4 points. Eagles are now 4 of 6 from the line. 38-24 into the front court. Dribbling behind his back is Jaden Brisby. Throws it up top to Luttrell. Gets it back as he passes to the left side of Navarez. Over to right wing to Clark. Fadeaway 3 out the back of the rim. Ball loose in the paint by Luttrell as he gets his 5th rebound. Tries to dribble out of pressure. Stumbles around as he tried to get away from Trey Hutchings. Lost his balance and fumbled his feet for the travel. Good job by Clay to stick on his backside that time as he went towards the left baseline. That's turnover number 12 for Las Cruces. Hutchings throws it to the half-court line, coming across is Hodge. He goes to the rack with a scoop shot and scores. Hasn't played in the last 2 games last week against Oregon Mountain and Mayfield, but Hodge in the book here. First points of the third quarter. It's 40-24, out Hobbs by 16. Bounce pass to the far left sideline from Luttrell. Cross court to the right to Navarez. He'll get it across to his Jaden Brisby teammate in the right wing. He goes hard to the baseline and to the hole. Leans into Turbiantes, throws the ball up on a half-winder hook. They call the body foul, count the basket foul on Turbiantes. That's his first personal and the 3rd team foul. As they'll count that basket again for Jaden Brisby. Now 3 buckets here in the third quarter. He's got 8 points overall. Majority of his scoring coming in this third quarter. Free throw is up, and it's good for a 3-point play. 9 points for him. Still nobody in double digits in this game so far for Las Cruces. 40-27. Hutchings will throw it across the timeline to the left wing. Josiah Clay has it, returns back deep to Hodge at the timeline, playing point guard. Over to right wing to Soria, returns to Hodge. He'll come around the left circle and hand it off the dribble to Clay. Clay handoff up top to Soria. Dribble to left to Hodge. He'll take it down the lane after the pass. A little windmill layup scoop on the right side, lost it. Turbiantes to the rebound, right block underneath the hoop on the reverse, right to left, and scores. A little bit of theatrics there for Turbiantes. He's got 6 and 6 boards. 42-27. Long pass to the other end to the right block to Brisby. Comes out of it. Cross court left to Clark. He thought about an NBA 3, but Turbiantes steps out on him. Returns it to Navarez. Drives to the left elbow. Shot is an air ball, and Turbiantes underneath just waiting for it. That's his 7th board. Handed off to Soria with 2:15 left, third quarter. Hobbs up by 15. Soria will take his time dribbling through the time stripe against a 2-3 zone. Bounce pass on the right wing to Clay. Top of the circle, slides left, dribbles through his legs, down the lane, a lefty hook off the back of the rim, no good. Gets his own rebound at the free throw line, his 3rd. Outlet to Turbiantes in the left wing, his 3 on the fadeaway left side, no good. Pulled down by Navarez. Bert Navarez with his 6th board, the point guard. Gives it off to Luttrell, the left wing, fadeaway 3 off the side of the rim. Soria with the rebound in the transition. He gets hammered from behind. That's his first board and a foul on Las Cruces to stop the clock with 1:48 left here in the third. And that'll be the second foul on Clark and the second team foul against the Bulldogs.
Another quick game for these Hobbs Eagles as it is just barely an hour in and we're almost into the fourth quarter.
Of course, we had the mercy roll 50-plus in the first game with the Lady Eagles knocking off Piedra Vista in the first round. Payton in the front court with the pass to Soria right wing. To the right corner to Hutchings, returns to Soria. Back deep to Pena. Still the 2-3 zone, staying the way they've been from the beginning of the game for Coach Benjamin and the Dogs. To Soria, top of the circle, flicks it off to Hodge, left to right, top of the arc as well. Behind to Pena, gets a screen up top from Turbiatis. Shot for three on the left side, in and out, no good. Tipped high in the air. The Blues trying to chase it on the baseline. Might have last touched one of them. That looked like Dominic Luttrell got to block it out Hutchings that time, and he tipped it off hhis fingertips. And that's going to be Hobbs basketball, right baseline, leading by 15. 1:20 left, third quarter. Eagles trying to get their lead or their record at 8-1 on the season. Bulldogs sit at 3-6. Inbound to Peyton Hodge, a three-pointer fade from the right corner, no good off the back. Chased down at the half-court line after the ricochet and thrown up on the shot there by Clay. He can't get it to drop. Pulled down on the left side. Pena goes to the rack with it and is hammered hard. Tried to sail high with that one and got nicked in the back. Ball came over the rim, no good, but he'll get two free throws.
Yeah, it'll be Ezekiel Acosta that's going to get that one his first.
That'll be the third team foul, and that'll be two free throws for Pena, who's not been on the line tonight, and ball knocks around the rim and goes through. Of course, he came into this contest 27 of 29 from the charity stripe, now make it 28 of 30. Only missed two free throws this season, 43-27. Pena now with 11 points. He's the first into double digits for the Eagles and makes his second as well. He's got 12, 9 for Henderson, 6 for Turriatis, 44-27. Steal on the inbound, Payne in the paint, throws up a reverse layup left side, no good, and ripped down to the free throw line by Brisby. Jaden Brisby has 8 rebounds. That was the 13th turnover, and Hobbs gets a steal at the other end for Soria. He goes back door to Pena on the layup right side and puts it through. Pena now with another bucket here. He's got 9 in the third, 14 overall. And that was the 14th turnover for Las Cruces. Into the front court, getting stripped is Joseph Brisby, taken by Peyton Hodge. He goes back to the rack at the other end and scores off the right glass, looking back at his defender the whole time. And that was Joseph Brisby. So Hodge is in the books again for 4 points. 15 turnovers for Las Cruces, and we got a hold foul in the full court press by the Eagles. Payne was back there trying to take on 2 people at once, and they call the foul on Hodge instead. That's his first. That'll be the 14th foul against the Eagles here in the third quarter with 26 seconds remaining. Hobbs by 11. On the left baseline trying to get it in, then a whistle as Dominic Luttrell kind of wondering what the ref was calling here. Oh, they call a foul off ball. Lyric Soria is going to pick up his second, 15th foul, which is not the foul you wanted to get here with such a little time left in the third. That's double bonus. Luckily, the foul count will go to 0 after this quarter ends in 26 seconds.
And also luckily that the Bulldogs have only hit 1 of their free throws so far in this game.
Yeah, they are 6 of 7, or make it 6 of 7. Make it 1 of 6 for the charity stripe. Joseph Brisby, or make that Jaden Clark makes the first. Second free throw converted. His first point of the ball game. 48-28. Second shot is up and in and out, no good for Clark. And coming off the free throw line to get the rebound, who just barely checked in, kind of slipped in there, Brock Beatty, the senior. He got his first board of the game and then quickly hit by the Las Cruces Dogs. Joseph Brisby picks up the foul. That is the 14th foul against Las Cruces, so the Eagles are now 1 away from the double bonus late in the third. Inbound to Pena near left side, gets it back to Hodge, swings it across the Soria right wing front court, up top to Pena, fakes a 3, double team, dribbling through his legs to bring the defense out to him, and finds Soria on the right wing. Stop and go dribble, gives it to Beatty in the right corner. Couple of dribbles through 2 defenders, returns to Soria right wing, over to left side to Pena with 3 seconds, 2-1, fires up a 3 shot at the buzzer, and nails it! Over the top of a hand in his face, Zayden Clark tried to get out there, but Pena makes him pay. Drills it through for his 3rd tray of the ball game. 12 points in the third quarter for Pena, 17 overall to lead the Eagles as they are up 51-28 over Las Cruces. First round of the 65th annual Hobbs on a tournament returning in 60 seconds. Your Hobbs Eagles leading 51-28 here in the fourth quarter as we get started here. Your first round of the Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament. Leading score 17, Abraham Pena, 9 for Parker Henderson, 6 apiece for Turbiatis, and 5 for Lyric Soria. It's going to be Las Cruces basketball. They try to get it down low on the right block, stolen by Pena. That'll be the 16th turnover. Pena in the front court against the 2-3 zone. Over to Soria left wing for 3. It's rolling around and good. His second tray of the ball game. He's got 8 points. The Eagles extend their lead to 26. At the other end, a long ball down the right block. Little hook shot, no good for Acosta. Henderson gets double team on him as he goes up for the rebound between 2 defenders and pulls down his 7th board. And he gets both biceps ripped from behind that time in a foul call. As they'll get this against Ezequiel Acosta, his second. And this will be the first team foul in the fourth quarter. Hodge will get over to Pena on the left wing in the backcourt. A 2-2-1 full court pressures trap. Over to Turbiatis front court on the right wing. Back deep to Soria. Swinging up top to Hodge. He'll drive the lane with a scoop shot left. Bounces off the front of the rim. Henderson tries to grab it, but it goes off his fingertips from the right block of the lane and out of bounds on the baseline.
It would have been a nice shot if you would have been able to get it. Would have been wide open.
Inbound to the left corner for Joseph Brisby. Going to go hard against Peyton Hodge on D. Goes down the lane right side. Tries a bounce pass back door to Acosta. Off his fingertip, but knocked out to Navarro's on the left wing, guarded by Turbiatis. Top of the arc, drives the right elbow, leans and shoots off the glass and counted on the right side. Henderson tried to help out Turbiatis with a swat shot. Somehow he's able to load that ball and still put it through the hole. They'll call the foul on Turbiatis, his second. First team foul here in the fourth quarter. Count the bucket again for Navarro's, his 6th point of the ball game. Boy, he had a good extension there. We're talking a very smaller kid out there, too, at 5'8", going up against a 7-footer who was trying to help Turbiatis, the 6'5" player out there defensively.
Yeah, definitely got a good stroke on that one.
Free throw good, 7 points for Navarro's. They're now 3 of 10 for 30% of the game, though, on the line. In the front court, Pena in the left corner, goes down the lane, and Turbiatis misses a finger roll of the front of the rim. Henderson comes up with a hook shot on the rebound on the right side and puts over the rim for 2. Big man Parker Henderson now double digits, 11 points and 8 rebounds, getting close to a double-double. 56-31, Eagles by 25. And a bad pass up the near right sideline out of bounds for Las Cruces as Soria was waiting for that one. And that'll be turnover number 17 for the Bulldogs. Inbound of the backcourt to Pena with a 25-point lead. 2-3 zone still for Las Cruces to Soria on the right wing. Trying to get somebody to post up. Instead, coming back for Hodge at the timeline. Over to Pena left wing. Cross court right to Hodge, had to come back for a little bit. Returns up top to Soria with a spin to Pena in the left wing. Down low to Turbiatis underneath the hoop. Dumps it over to the right corner to Hodge. He's going to spot up a tray, an air ball. Turbiatis rebounds on the left baseline. Gets a double team. Slings it back up top to Soria for 3 out the front of the rim. No good. Henderson with the rebound. Misses the two-hand pushback on the right block. Couldn't get it to drop. And the rebound coming up for Las Cruces. Pulled down by Acosta. Goes it across the timeline to Navarro's. Bounce pass on the left wing to Acosta. Holding the ball against Soria. Unloads to the right elbow to Joseph Brisby. Coming back to get it is Jaden Brisby on the left wing. Back up top to the trail for 3, an air ball. Henderson with the rebound. That's number 10. So he's got a double-double now. Down to Turbiatis on the left block of the underneath the hoop, and a takeaway for Las Cruces as stripped by Bird Navarros for the Eagles. 5th turnover. Long pass down to the lane, and Brisby lays it up on the right side. He's got 11 points. First double-digit score for Jaden Brisby. 56-33. It's a 23-point game. Ball gets knocked out as it comes across the timeline, or did Hobbs get a timeout? I think they did.
I think they got a timeout.
It looked like Las Cruces got a piece of the ball there, almost got a steal on the far right sideline of the front court by Navarez, but Coach Ross saw it coming and got the timeout first. 5:13 left here in the 4th. Hobbs up by 23, 56-33. We'll take a 30-second break, come back with more Hobbs Holiday Tournament basketball on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Eagles with a double-digit lead here in the 4th quarter, 56-33. First round of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, the 65th annual. Eagles leading over Las Cruces first round. Inbound to Pena in the backcourt, over to Soria right wing, returns to Pena. Drives hard to the free throw line, lost the ball from behind, gets it back, gives it over to Turbiatis left corner. His 3 is good as it rolls around the rim and drops in. That's a second tray for Turbiatis, has 9 points. 7th tray for the Eagles, who lead by 16. Quickly to the other end. Brisby at the right block. Joseph Brisby uses up the dribble. Gives it off to Navarez on the right wing, guarded by Peyton Hodge. Slides with it to the top of the arc off the dribble. Spin move to the right elbow. Stripped as a double team with Pena and Hodge. They say the foul going to be against the Eagles. Hodge got a piece of the arm as Pena tasted a strip and go for that one. But Hodge will pick up the foul, his second team foul against the Eagles, and it will be Las Cruces ball. Coach Ross going to go to the bench. Amari McGahey will check in. And also getting some action back here in the 4th quarter will be Trey Hutchings. And Clay, inbound to the right block, turnaround hook shot, the paint clinks off the rim for Acosta, pulled down by Pena on the near left sideline. That's Pena's 8th rebound. He's working on a double-double with 17 points. Zing it down low to the left block, and wide open was Trey Hutchings in the layup on the left. He's got 6 points. 61-33, Hobbs by 28. The half-court inbound, fumbled by Brisby, picked up on the left wing by Acosta, backdoor pass to Jaden Brisby, head fake, double clutch, lost the ball, and it's stolen away momentarily. McGahey did not get full control over it. Everybody dive it on the hardwood, and a jump ball. Possession arrow going to go to the Hobbs Eagles. That turns over number 18 in the ball game for Las Cruces.
And those are definitely costing them the game so far. Definitely you can't get back into it with 4:10 left. But they're going to try their very best to do so.
Coach Benjamin brings in a lot of subs. I don't think most of these guys have seen any action in this game. Actually, Julian Navarez might have been in very briefly. Scott Cisneros on there, as well as Elijah Hernandez. So lots of new faces on the court for Coach Benjamin. Prince Lopez also on the court, sophomore guard. Inbound to the backcourt to Braddock Beatty to bring it across with Amari McGahey. Josiah Clay. Pass to Clay on the right wing. It is Clay. He shoots a 3, clinks off the iron, and looks like landing on the baseline after the rebound was Scott Cisneros. Really didn't have control over it, so this is going to be Hobbs basketball, up by 28. 3:58 left here in the 4th. 61-33 Eagles. Inbounding will be McGahey on the right base. Throws it into the right wing to Clay. Cross court left to Beatty. Jab step. Moving that zone. Returns deep to Clay. He's going to back it out to the timeline. Stop and go dribble. Cross over to his left hand. Hippity hop in the paint. Throws it back door. Waiting for it. Laying it up 2 hands on the left glass is Hutchings. Good ball control. Clay going to Hutchings. That's 8 for Trey. 63-33. A 30-point lead. We're getting close to mercy roll. And trying to come down the right lane off the dribble, Prince Lopez. He gets hammered. They call that on Braddock Beatty, his first personal. That's a 3rd team foul against the Eagles. That was not a shooting situation. Las Cruces will have it on the right baseline underneath their hoop with 3:37 remaining and a 30-point deficit.
Yeah, but the Cruces Bulldogs have been able to get into bonus every single period so far, every single quarter.
The bouncer on the inbound of the left block is stripped away from Walton, taken by the Hobbs Eagles. Going to the rack at the other end, missing the righty layup was Clay. Put back up behind him by Amron Wheeler, who had just checked in momentarily. His first bucket from the right block off the glass. The sophomore getting his first rebound as well, 65-33.
Had a shoe tying incident going on right after that bucket.
Yeah, Josiah Clay took a dive to the floor to get that right shoe taken care of here. And now a 32-point lead. This 3 points away from Mercy Roll with 3:22 remaining. Inbound to the deep left corner. Pulled down by Navarez. Gets it to the timeline with a pass to Scott Cisneros. Now in the front court. Guarded by Javen Hernandez, who just checked in. Flicks it over to the right wing to Walton. Up top of the arc off the dribble. Gives to Lopez behind him. Stop and go to the right wing. Hand off to Cisneros. To the free throw line off the dribble. Up top to Walton. Fumbles the ball. Taken away by McGahey. Turner number 19 up ahead to Braddock Beatty for the scoop shot right side. He's got 4 points. 68-33. There's the Mercy Roll 35-point lead with 2:50 left in the game. Steal on the inbound. Coming down the paint in the backcourt. Clay. Turner number 20. He's going to spin on the right baseline. Lost the ball, picked it up, give it back to McGahey in the right corner. He tries to dribble and lost it, but it's knocked out by Las Cruces on that right baseline by Julian Navarez. So Hobbs going to put the W in the book here, up by 34, Ron.
Exactly. Unless things just completely fall off the rails, I think Hobbs can definitely get this win.
McGahey to Beatty from a fade to the baseline right side from 15 feet, and Beatty back-to-back. He's got 6. 69-33, 36-point lead, the Mercy Roll. 2:29 remaining. Weaving through traffic, going down the lane is Lopez. Lost the ball as he comes towards the rack. And goes down to the baseline, touched by the Eagles, and that'll be Cruces basketball.
Hobbs on a 13-0 run right now.
Prince Lopez to inbound on the right baseline. Down by 36. Tries to do an alley-oop in the paint, taken by Braddock Beatty, Turner number 21. He comes down the lane through 2 defenders, reverse layup left, tip back up on the right block as it came off the rim as McGahey tips it home from the right block off the glass. 4 points and 2 rebounds for McGahey. 71-33, going to the other end, a pass to the right block to Navarez. Gives it off to Lopez down the lane. He reverses left to right and lays it off the glass, his first bucket. Clock stopped as Coach Benjamin calls a timeout. I got to thinking this might be a substitution timeout. Although those guys that were just on the court were late subs here in the fourth quarter. 2:04 left here in the fourth. And Ron, tomorrow's schedule for the Hobbs Eagles and the Lady Eagles, both in the winner's side of the bracket. Give us that schedule.
It looks like it's going to be for the boys right now. We've got Farmington going on. They had a big win against El Paso Parkland, 81-43. And for the girls, they're going to be facing Albuquerque El Dorado, who faced a lowly, struggling Alamogordo Tigers and got that victory 49-21. So, yeah, 6:30 tomorrow for the girls, 8:15 for the boys. Could change a little bit, but still, it's both going to be on Cool 95.7.
Definitely you want to get it here on the radio. Also the internet, of course, HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. The only reason the girls game is on Cool tomorrow, they have the bowl game for the Texas Tech Red Raiders, so that is on this station tomorrow and conflicting with the Lady Eagles game. But also have day 3 as well on Saturday. Hopefully championship games for both teams. Of course, the Hobbs boys took 4th last year. They lost in the 3rd place game to Volcano Vista, who's the state champs after that last year. And the Hobbs Lady Eagles, of course, won their championship game at Tasker. 2 minutes remaining in this one. Hobbs basketball. They get in the front court to Wheeler in the right corner. Back deep to that far sideline to Clay, right. Hernandez comes and gets it on the right wing, gives it back to Clay. Stop and go dribble, backing up is Clay. Goes down the lane with a little windmill action on the right side and throws it over the rim for 2. Clay has 4 points, 73-35, a 38-point ball game. Inbounded to Walton. He gets picked up by Clay, unloads to the far left sideline of the backcourt to Navarez. Lost the ball, had to go track it down, then steps on that sideline, left side of the court in front of the scores table. And again, that's another turnover, number 22 for the Bulldogs.
Just could not handle his feet and get the ball at the same time. So, yeah, stepped out of bounds, and that is unfortunate for the Bulldogs.
Clock's running because of the Mercy Rule, 1:16 remaining. Inbound comes to Clay, top of the circle. They have not come out of that zone much at all tonight. Unloads to Beatty in the left wing. He fades to the left baseline on the dribble and the shot. It's off the mark. And a rebound pulled in transition now into the front court as they get the pass to Lopez. The rebound was from Elijah Hernandez. Pass to the left wing. 3 on the way for Cisneros, off the rim, no good. Chased down here on the left sideline by one of the brothers, Brock Beatty, his second board. Throws it across Hernandez with 48 seconds to Braddock Beatty on the left wing. Over the right side to Josiah Clay. He drives the lane. Scoop over the front of the rim on 3 defenders. Little flick of the finger roll there. Kind of comes off the rim at the last second, but he will get a chance for 2 free throws. They're letting the clock run. They're supposed to stop it on a 2-shot free throw situation, but regardless, it'll be a win for the Eagles. Hernandez gets the foul.
And that looked like he was trying to make an easy shot. It is not an easy shot, to say the least, but he was able to get it close and draw the foul to get those 2, but missed the first one.
Yeah, missed the first free throw. He'll get 1 more, Will Clay. He's got 4 points and hits the front of the rim, bouncing around and good.
Gets that shooter's touch.
5 points for Clay, 74-35 with 4 seconds left. Eagles up big. Driving hard to the front court is Lopez on the baseline. Throws it down the lane. Too late, though. The clock expires. And your Hobbs Eagles win first round of the 65th annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament, 74-35 over Las Cruces High. Eagles will be in the semifinals tomorrow night. And same with the Hobbs Lady Eagles. We'll take a 3-minute break and come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show here on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Welcome back to the Hobbs Eagle postgame show live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you, and Evie Stuber and Tiffany Stuber back at the station manual as well. Hobbs Eagles victorious in a mercy rule victory. First round of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, 74-35, winning by 39 points. Clock running much of that fourth quarter. And Ron, pretty much in good handle the most of this game. First quarter, Hobbs up by 13, 19-6. He outscored Las Cruces not very much. 1 point in the second quarter, about 11-10, but it was 30-16 at the half, so a 14-point comfortable lead. Big quarter in the third, they scored 21, only 12 for Las Cruces, and then the final quarter, 23-7. So they just put the icing on the cake in the finale.
Exactly. A lot of press and a lot of things going right for Hobbs. And Las Cruces just unable to answer with anything they were doing. In fact, a couple of times they were trying to do those healing passes, and that wasn't working out for him either. So they had a few moments where they had a 6-point run, maybe even got up to 8, but the end pretty much sealed the deal for him, a 17-2 run for Hobbs. And that put the nail on the head, so to speak, and also increased it to 36-21. That is the record against this Las Cruces team. That goes all the way back to 1957, and they're doing pretty well. They did have a 9-10 or 9-11 recently, but they have a 3-game winning streak, 10-11 over on the last 20 games.
Big difference in this game, too, is the turnovers. 22 for Las Cruces. Hobbs in the single digits for the second straight game. Only had 5 that I have on my sheet right here. They only had 9 against Mayfield, and look, blowout wins in both of these.
Exactly, and it's all about just maintaining the ball, being able to get it, limiting the shooting. That's one of the reasons why Las Cruces could not get into the rhythm of any kind of offense. They weren't getting it on their side of the court. So Hobbs was definitely getting it on both sides of the court, being able to play it well. There was very little slowdown as far as, we saw that last year. It was a fourth quarter debacle where they played too tight. I remember just a couple of games ago, Ronald Ross said, look, you know what we're doing? We're not playing with fun. We need to go out there and have fun. I think that's what they did today. They played it as a cohesive team, got some fun in it as well, and didn't tighten up and try to do too much.
Well, let's look at the scoring in this game. First for Las Cruces, as they finished with 8 scores in the books, but only 1 in double digits. That was Jaden Brisby. He did get a double-double close to a double-double, I should say. 11 points and 8 rebounds to his cause. Not a great free throw shooter, though. He was 1 of 5 from the charity stripe for just 20%. But again, he was the top scorer. Dropping off significantly after that, Bird Navarez had 7 points, went 1 for 1 from the line. Joseph Brisby had 4 points, 0 for 2 from the charity stripe. Dominic Luttrell finished with 6 points. He had 2 trays just in 1 quarter alone. And then a bunch of guys with 2 apiece, including Prince Lopez, Ezequiel Acosta, and Quentin Fielder. Jaden Clark in the fourth went 1 of 2 from the line for 1 point. So not a lot of scoring going on in this contest. Again, only 35 points through 4 quarters of action. That's a little less than 9 points a quarter. And top rebounder for Las Cruces was Brisby. He had 8 boards, 6 for Bird Navarez and Dominic Luttrell finishing with 5. They were out-rebounded sorely, though, 39-25, so the Eagles had 14 more rebounds. Again, we mentioned the turnovers, a big disparity there. 22 for Las Cruces, with just 5 unofficially for the Hobbs Eagles. Not a lot of free throw opportunities in this ball game, but the ones they did get were not converting much of. They were 3 of 10 for 30% for the Las Cruces Bulldogs.
Right, they did, and just opportunities they had, and that was one of them. And we already knew that they needed to make as many as they could. Only, one was it? So definitely needed to work on those. Actually, I think I got a couple at the end, but still just did not take advantage of those free throws, and it kept getting further and further behind as they were trying to get back into it.
Of course, last year the Eagles beating Las Cruces by 11 points, not at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, but still a win nonetheless. The Hobbs Eagles getting 10 scores in the books in this game. Only 2 double-digit scores, but a lot more people getting involved in the offense. Abraham Pena finished with 17. He converted on 3 3-pointers and was perfect 2 for 2 from the line and had 8 points, or 8 rebounds, I should say. Kind of a slow start offensively. Only had 5 points early, but really added on in the second half for his total of 17. Getting close to a double-double, too, with those 8 rebounds. Parker Henderson did get a double-double. He finished with 11 points, 1 of 2 from the line, and got 10 rebounds in this ball game. So he had a double-double few games back as well. It was Lyric Soria coming off the bench, a sophomore guard with 8 points, hit 2 trays and 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. Getting kind of close to his good performance against Mayfield before Christmas, so good to see him coming on as the season progresses. It was a total of 6 or 8 points as well for Trey Hutchins coming off the bench. He had 4 completed shots put through for the Eagles. Braddock Beatty with 6 points on 3 buckets. Amari McGahey with 4 points. Peyton Hodge also with 4. Nice to see him back in uniform after being out 2 games last week. Josiah Clay was 5 points, 1 of 2 from the line, and 4 rebounds. Amron Wheeler coming in late in the fourth quarter to get a bucket and a board as well for the Eagles. So again, 10 scores in the game. Eagles were 7 of 10 from the charity stripe at 70%, which is a little bit better than what they usually shoot, 63% on the season. So good to see that. And again, the big discrepancy was the turnovers. Hobbs with only 5, 22 for Las Cruces High. And rebounding again, 39-22 or 39-25, 14 more for the Eagles. So that's definitely a feather in the cap of Coach Ross and the squad. Leading rebounder Parker Henderson with 10, 8 apiece for Abraham Pena and Jairus Turbiatis. So good complete game for the Eagles. We didn't have a bunch of double-digit scores, but a lot more people getting involved or getting a piece of that pie to move on to the semifinals with a 74-35 win over Las Cruces High.
And see, that's what Farmington is going to look at. See who you can stop. If you can stop a few players, you definitely want to do that. But if you have a team that is functioning as a group and is playing as a team, then you don't really have an individual out there you can stop. You have to stop the whole team, and that is a whole lot different. That's a whole other ball game right there as far as being able to come out here defensively and do it without getting those fouls as well, because, you can foul out when you're trying to play too intense, and it doesn't really help your cause.
Again, we mentioned that the next opponent is Farmington, and having some issues, not having any issues, but made an issue out of the game they had earlier. I mean, completely blowing out Parkland, El Paso Parkland, 82-43 to run their record at 8-2 on the season. So some good things being done by the Scorpions. Again, long road trip for them, coming up all the way from the northwest part of the state. I think that's about, about 9 to 10 hours or so going all the way up there.
Roughly, yeah, it's around 500 miles roughly.
And, of course, their girls team is also in the semifinals. They won their game today, so both those teams moving on to the winners bracket.
Exactly. Both of them did it pretty easily, too. 63-20 was Farmington Lady Scorpions going on to the next round. They're going to be facing Riverside.
And looking at Farmington so far in the rankings, not anywhere close to what we've seen in terms of the schedule. The Hobbs Eagles have had one of the best strength of schedules in the state. Of course, Hobbs at number 2 with a 7-1 record, make it 8-1 after the win tonight. But Farmington, you have to drop way down the scale there just to find them on the list, and they're just not showing up very far up there. I mean, they played some games that are W's as they're in the plus win margin, but they're at number 12 on the list. But if you look at their schedule in terms of their opponents so far, just not the caliber that the Hobbs Eagles have seen. Now they're coming to this tournament to try to beef themselves up a little bit, a long road trip for them. But really, I don't know if you have any signature wins you want to talk about.
Exactly, but for the record, it is a series of 7-1 since 1956. Hobbs does own that, but they had a 7-game winning streak snapped just last year. So it could happen, where it was just 56-50. Hobbs wasn't able to get beyond the hump and be able to get back into that game and win it. But that was last year once again. And you never know what's going to happen. That's the reason why they play these games. And we thought Las Cruces might be able to come out here and give a show. They did for the first quarter, but after that, it was pretty much Hobbs Eagles ball. And that's kind of what we're looking for against the Scorpions tomorrow.
Yeah, you look at their wins this season so far. They beat Aztec, smaller school, Valencia, smaller school, St. Mike's, smaller school, beat Window Rock, Arizona, Cannon City, Maryvale they lost to by 5. Bloomfield, smaller school in New Mexico, beat them by 75-34. Kirtland Central, I'm kind of surprised at that score margin there, 65-28. Kirtland's usually a pretty tough 3A school. And then, of course, El Paso Parkland, they beat today, we mentioned already, by 39 in that contest. So, again, if you look at the caliber, a lot of smaller schools on their schedule, and they did lose to Santa Fe, who is a top of the league, a school like the Hobbs Eagles. Lost to them by just 2, 63-61. But strength of schedule, and definitely not where it's at for Farmington, and they're going to have the 6-man against them here at Tasker Arena.
Well, you look at the Parkland Matadors, and it's 4-13 is what they entered into the game today. So they weren't feeling very strong about their winning ability to do so, and definitely did not win against a Farmington team that is 8-2 right now, but their schedule does not show that. It reflects it's still a weak schedule, and Hobbs could come in here and pretty much play them like they did Las Cruces tonight.
Final score once again, 74-35 as the Eagles go to 8-1 on the season. And another loss for Las Cruces, dropping them to 3-7. Again, we got 2 games again tomorrow night. Of course, the Hobbs Lady Eagles will play here at Tasker Arena in the second round as they will take on El Dorado out of Albuquerque. Of course, their boys team is also in the tournament. They got beat earlier today, so they're in the consolation bracket. But that game tomorrow night, 6:30 for the girls, 6:15 pregame show. That will be on this radio station tomorrow on Cool 95.7 instead of the normal Eagle 100.5 due to Texas Tech football. After that, we got the Hobbs boys in action, 8:15 tip-off time. That's what the schedule is.
Right.
8 o'clock with the pregame show. Again, this all depends on games before that. Hobbs will take on Farmington, as we just mentioned. The Scorpions coming in for a long road trip in that ball game. So more exciting action, too. Don't forget other games as well all throughout the day. Las Cruces High will continue on against El Paso Parkland. On the consolation bracket on the boys' side as well, El Dorado takes on Legacy, a team out of Texas, of course. That's a 9:45 game. Las Cruces plays El Paso Parkland at 1:15 tomorrow. The other game in the winners bracket, Artesia got an impressive win over El Dorado. That was the Albuquerque squad, 61-48. So the Bulldogs, the team the Eagles beat in the Artesia tournament, they're moving on to the semis. They're taking on Cleveland. That's going to be a real exciting matchup tomorrow at 4:45 here at Tasker. So
rematch.
Yeah, big time game there. We want to see that one. The girls' side of the bracket, of course, the 7th annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament. They have got a game at 8 a.m. Las Cruces High will take on El Paso El Dorado. That'll be here at Tasker Arena. They've got another game 11:30, which will feature Piedra Vista, the team that the Lady Eagles beat earlier. Will take on Alamogordo. Again, that's 11:30. The 3 o'clock game features El Paso Riverside on the winners bracket against Farmington. Of course, that's the other side of the bracket, so the winner of that one will play Hobbs, hopefully, if the Lady Eagles can beat Albuquerque El Dorado. Again, 3 o'clock for Riverside Farmington, 6:30 for the Hobbs girls against Albuquerque El Dorado. Again, Hobbs Eagles with the win tonight. Last comments, Ron, before we send it back to the studio.
I think Hobbs is firing on all pistons. They wanted to get into this one very well and be able to get to the championship, and I think they're on the way. Let's go ahead and thank our sponsors while we're at it before we get out of here. It's Thriftway in La Tienda, Rent-A-Center, Coffee House, Hydrotech, Eunice Pump and Supply, Hobbs Rental, United Realty, and NMR Pipeline. Once again, without you guys, we would not be able to put this on the air and definitely not on the internet.
We will see you tomorrow night, 6:15 for the girls, and about 8 o'clock on the pregame show for the boys, both here on Cool 95.7, and, of course, as usual, on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Thanks to Evie, Manuel, and Tiffany back at the station. For Ron Gunner, myself, Ty Friend, and my daughter, Jessica Friend, on the scoreboard tonight. Have a great rest of a Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow right back here at the 65th annual, 7th annual girls, 65th annual boys Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Have a good one.